You're listening to the Bloodshed Baddies.
Hi, I'm Lex,
And I'm Sam.
and we are the Bloodshed Baddies.
Yeah, we are. What's up? What's up?
Woo woo.
So, Lexi,
Yes.
when this comes out, it'll be, I believe, December 1st.
Whoa.
I know. So, I have a two-parter question for you.
A two-parter.
A two-parter. The first one is this comes out right after Thanksgiving. So, what are you thankful for?
What am I thankful for? I actually really hate this question. I don't know why. And it's not because I'm not thankful for stuff. I think in a lot of circles, they're always like, write down things that you are thankful for or grateful for, and you won't be stressed anymore. And I'm like, that's not how it works for me.
Yeah,
But a couple of years ago, I changed my mindset to what makes you happy in life
I
instead of
love that.
grateful, just because I think I have a negative connotation with it. And right now, I think it's always my animals. Always, I have the best dogs and cat in the entire world. Even though my cat's a little moron and knocked over a full cup of coffee the other day.
You do have very good animals, though. I agree with that 1,000%.
Yeah, I am very thankful and happy with all the people I have in my life. I think that I've gone through a lot of changes in terms of friend groups and stuff, but the people I have in my life right now are really solid people, including
Heck
family, but
yeah.
also friends. And I think just my ability to keep doing things I love. Like even when I'm stressed, I still like to read and travel and do the stuff, even though it's stressful.
No, I love that. That's a great one. I was gonna say that I am thankful because I think for a lot of people, but this year's really kicked me in the butt cake. And I am thankful that I still can see the blessings because I'm still super blessed and I still have so much good things happening in my life. So I'm happy that I don't as you can when things are not going your way, swim in it or drown in it. I'm still looking at the positive. So I'm thankful that I can do that and see, like you said, the amazing people, family, friends, my doggo as well, important things, important blessings, husband, all that.
Yeah.
And then my second parta is how do you get ready for the holidays?
I have two modes. I have two modes. Either it is November 1st and my entire house is decorated for Christmas and I'm watching Christmas movies and listening to Christmas music and I have all the Christmas candles lit and everything is beautiful and wonderful and nice and I'm shopping early and I'm doing all the great things. Or I have mode two, which is the mode this year where I don't even know if I'm going to decorate for Christmas this year.
Oh my gosh, because we're really opposites because I decorate after Thanksgiving. I like Thanksgiving as a holiday. I'm one of those people. But this year, I think I might start decorating tomorrow for Christmas. I've been in the spirit, so we're very off.
So I have this thing because I'm not going to be in town for Christmas this year because I'm coming up to Michigan.
Woohoo!
So I have this thing where I'm like, well, why decorate for me not to be home? And then I get home from Michigan and I have to undecorate my house.
Undecorate,
That's so
which is
stupid to
true.
me.
That's
So
very
yeah,
true.
we'll see. We'll see if I decide to change my mind, but I don't think I will this year.
If you do, you'll have to let me and the baddies know.
Okay, I will.
All right. I'm happy if you can tell I'm feeling under the weather. Another way I get prepared for the holidays is get freaking allergies. But I get to sit back and relax while Lexi gives us her case. So I'm excited.
Well, you're not going to be happy with me though.
Oh gosh, it's unsolved.
And it's a missing person.
No!
And not only that, it's a missing kid.
Lex, I hate the kid ones.
I know, I'm sorry.
You're really pressing me right now.
So today we are going to talk about the story of Madeline McCann.
Ooh.
Madeline Beth McCann was born in May 2003 to Kate and Jerry McCann in the small, affluent village of Rothley, England.
Ooh.
Jerry worked as a cardiologist and Kate was a general practitioner. So both doctors making lots of money,
Doing well.
having the best lives. And Kate worked part time so she could spend more time caring for their children. Madeline was the oldest daughter, followed by twins, Sean and Emily.
Very cute names.
I think that's how you say her name. Those who knew Madeline described her as bright, curious, and full of energy, a funny, outgoing little girl who loved swimming, dressing up, and playing outdoors.
I'm sad already.
In May 2007, the McCann family traveled to Praia da Luz, which is a quiet resort town on Portugal's Algarve coast.
Okay, so they're from England. They're traveling to Portugal.
Yes. Madeline was 3 years old at the time, and the twins were two. And they vacationed with a group of friends. So there were 7 adults and 8 children in total. And they were staying at the Ocean Club Resort. And the McCanns were in a ground floor apartment with easy access to the pool and restaurant area.
Sounds super fun. Like you have a group of friends, they have kids too. Let's all go on this nice vacation together, bring our children, and still have fun.
Yes. So each evening, after putting the children to bed, the adults would meet for dinner at the resort's tapas restaurant, just 50 yards away from the apartments. They had an informal system of taking turns checking on the sleeping children throughout the evening. Now, a lot of people like freak out when they hear this and are like, oh my God, they left their kids alone in the apartment. But I'm going to send you in the chat
Ooh.
a picture of the resort so you can see like how close this tapas bar is to the apartments. It would be like
Oh,
going
wow.
to your neighbors down the street.
Yeah, it literally is like, and like depending on how close your neighbors are too, like
Yeah.
it could literally be, it's not bad. It's not that bad. And if they had the system of like,
Yeah. Unlike your street, this is like an enclosed resort. It's not like, there's this like open street in the middle of nowhere. This is a resort. They're right across the way.
yeah, and like everyone, like they're spending money and on vacation, so you think things are safe and okay. You're in a different kind
Yep.
of atmosphere than like being at home. And then, like I said, like if you're like, okay, you go check on the kids for this hour. Okay, now you go check on the kids. Like, yeah, they left them alone, but like it's not crazy far. It's not
And I'm
anything
not saying I
crazy.
would or would not do it, but I think people make this big exaggerated thing when talking about this case about how they were like so far away from the apartments at this restaurant. And when you look at the map, it's really not that far at all.
And like people, they probably already feel guilty enough for that. So like let's not add to it because they, everyone parents differently and makes different choices.
So now we're going to talk about the night of May 3rd, 2007. So that day began just like any other. In the morning, the children attended the resort's kid club while Kate and Jerry played tennis. After Kate and Jerry play tennis, they go pick the kids up from the kids club and eat lunch together, spend an afternoon swimming. And then at 6 p.m., Kate takes the children back to the apartment for their baths and bedtime while Gary finishes a tennis match. So Kate gets them home, gets them all bathed up, and by 7:30 they are all in bed and asleep.
Okay.
At 8:35 p.m., Kate and Jerry join their friends at dinner. The restaurant was within sight of the apartment, but separated by a short path and a low wall. The McCanns left the sliding patio door unlocked for convenience during their check-ins.
Which I get.
Yes, probably would never make that choice again now, but
No.
it's it's not just a normal neighborhood. You're at a resort. You don't
No.
think this is going to happen. And I mean, it's a resort for people with money. It's not,
I was
they're not
thinking that.
staying at a Holiday Inn or a La Quinta over here.
And an anxious person or an anxious parent probably would lock it. But like there are laid back people in this world that I'm envious of. And they're probably like, hey, let's just leave the sliding glass door open. You know what I mean? Like,
So at 8:55 p.m., the group does their first round of checks.
okay.
Now they are not waiting a long time in between these checks. The next person goes and checks at 9:05.
Oh, so like what was that? 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gary returns to the apartment. He opens the sliding glass door. He sees all three children are asleep and rejoins the group. So that's at 9:05. At 9:30, their friend Matt is going to check on his kids. He's like, I'll grab your kids on this round so that way we don't all have to get up. He opens the sliding glass door and he notices that like the bedroom door is slightly ajar. So he peeks in and he sees the twins. Madeline's bed is out of view, so he doesn't actually put eyes on Madeline, but he's nothing out of the ordinary. Nobody's crying. Everybody looks like they're sleeping. He shuts the door and walks out.
Yes.
The next check is at 10 o'clock p.m. So, really, within an hour, they've done four checks.
They've done four checks. And even though they've done four checks. And even though that guy didn't have eyes on her, the one check, he was still walking a path in the apartment type situation.
And saw the other two kids in the same room as her.
Yes. Yes.
So, I don't think there's any reasoning to say, like, oh, he should have walked into the room further. He saw the first two kids lying there. Why would Madeline not be lying there?
Yeah. And the only reason to have be saying that is because of what happened, unfortunately.
Yes. And then at 10 o'clock p.m., Kate went to go check herself. It was her turn.
Oh,
When she entered the apartment, she immediately noticed the children's bedroom door was wide open, which she didn't leave their bedroom door. She left it cracked. And remember, when her friend Matt went and checked at 9:30 p.m., the
he
door was
closed.
cracked. No,
Oh, I thought he closed the door.
no.
No?
He
Okay.
just
Okay.
noticed it. Like, remember, it was slightly open, so he just peeked
Yes.
in. He didn't
Yep.
walk all the way in. So it was cracked at 9:30, which is how Kate left it.
Yes.
It's all the way open at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And the window was open, but she knows
Oh.
she did not leave the window open. And she goes in, and Madeline's bed was empty. Panic sets in, and Kate ran back to the restaurant shouting, "They've taken her." The group split up to search the resort while staff and guests joined in, and the police were immediately called and arrived by 10:30 p.m. and searched the grounds until 4 a.m. They also set up roadblocks, and the border police and airports were alerted.
So were still in the room, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And mother instinct, she's like, oh my God, she was taken, essentially.
Yes.
Okay.
9 days later,
Oh,
she is still not found. May 12th. The Portuguese police publicly stated their belief that Madeline had been abducted, but still was alive and somewhere in Portugal.
did they say why they felt she was still alive? Just wondering because you know how we are always like 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, I think a lot of it had to do with not finding a body or evidence.
Makes sense.
Um, but there was a couple early leads that gave investigators hope. Jane Tanner was one of the McCann's friends. She saw a man carrying a child in pajamas around 9:10 p.m. around the apartments. She gave them a description. It was released to the public. And a couple weeks later, the man came forward. He actually was another tourist staying at the resort carrying his own child back to their room.
Uh,
Jane's husband, Russell, also reported seeing a man loitering near the complex around the time of Madeline's disappearance. So I think, like, all of a sudden she disappears and you're like, anyone we saw could have been that person.
oh yeah, I would be saying anybody.
So it says this is what the guy looks like. And this guy is later identified as Robert Murat, who was a British expatriate living nearby. He actually became a suspect and was investigated for years before becoming fully cleared.
Wow. Also, what is an expertite?
person who lives outside their native country.
Okay. So he's not from Britain.
Yeah. By June, so now we're a month later,
Ugh.
the police chief admitted that critical evidence may have been lost because the apartment wasn't properly sealed off.
Which is important.
Yeah.
But also you're in a resort, you're a vacation. That's probably part of it.
However, the police automatically know that this is not good because a child is missing. They should have sealed off the apartment.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
British investigators actually come and join the case that summer, and they bring in specialized sniffer dogs.
Oh my gosh.
The dogs alert to traces of blood and the scent of a body behind a sofa in the McCann's apartment, and later in a rental car that the couple began using weeks after the disappearance. This is evidence that would fuel public suspicion.
Yes. So clarify some things for me so I know I'm hearing this correctly. Um, there is evidence of blood and decomp where the McCanns were staying on vacation behind the couch.
Yes.
And then in their own rental car that they used
The rental car that they did not begin using until weeks after the disappearance.
until weeks after. Okay, I'm stumped.
Yeah, doesn't really make sense.
No.
In August 2007, investigators announced that they no longer believed Madeline was alive.
I hate this.
On September 6th, a month later, both Kate and Jerry McCann were officially declared suspects under Portuguese law.
Because of that evidence.
Yes. Now we're going to fast forward a year to July 2008, and the Portuguese Attorney General shelved the case, citing lack of evidence, and cleared the McCanns of all suspicion.
I'm at a loss for words just because it's a child and it's terrible. No matter, like, you know what I mean? So, like,
Yes.
I do hope, obviously, the parents aren't involved. And, like, from the story, I feel like that they're probably not. But, like, also, is that the best thing to do? Also, I feel bad for the parents going through that. Also, like, let's just, like, not give up on this case and keep trying. I don't know. I'm, like, very mixed feelings right now about everything. This is, like, a hard one.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Now we're going to fast forward even further in time. We're now going to jump all the way to 2011.
Oh,
Kate and Jerry publish a book called Madeline, detailing their experience and pleading for renewed attention. They're
okay.
like, hey, pay attention. My little girl went missing and no one cares.
I can't imagine.
That same year, the UK's Metropolitan Police launched Operation Grange, which was a full review of the case.
Good.
Investigators examined over 40,000 documents, pursued more than 8,000 reported sightings, and identified 60 persons of interest. They also went over a list of over 600 known sex offenders.
So this seems like they are definitely doing the thing by reopening this,
Yes.
which is very positive. Going over the sex offenders, very positive. 60 people of interest, very positive. But I'm sad because I feel like I know this isn't solved, like you said.
However, nothing really comes of it.
Boo.
8 years later, Netflix in 2019 released The Disappearance of Madeline McCann, a documentary series revisiting the case. The McCanns chose not to participate, asking friends and family to decline as well. So I didn't watch it for this case because I was like, if they don't want me to, I'm not going to.
Yeah, because that's the family. But I'm curious as maybe to why, because they want the book that was their national, they wanted more attention, right?
Yes.
So, like, obviously, Netflix documentaries people go crazy over. So, like, I'm curious is like maybe they did something in a bad light that they didn't like, you know what I mean? Something like that.
Mm.
But that's unfortunate.
That same year, 2019, Portuguese investigators examined a potential suspect. Martin Ney is a convicted German pedophile. In 2019, was currently serving life in prison for the murder of 3 boys and the abuse of dozens more. Ney had been in Portugal around 2007, but denied all involvement. Notably, all of his known victims were male.
I was going to ask that next.
Then, in 2020,
Oh my
German
goodness.
authorities named Christian Buchner an official suspect. Bruckner is a German national and had a history of sexual offenses, including the rape of a 72-year-old woman in Portugal in 2005.
Just disgust.
Cell phone data placed him near Praia da Luz on the night Madeline disappeared, which is weird.
That is.
German prosecutors stated they believed Madeline was dead and that Bruckner was responsible, but he has denied all involvement.
This is so frustrating. And it's so frustrating that they have like multiple people that they're suspecting because they're just gross people.
Yep. As of right now, he still remains under investigation.
Ew. Because, go ahead.
So we're going to jump into theories because to this day, the disappearance remains one of the most perplexing unsolved cases in modern history. This really, really reminds me of John Benet Ramsey case.
Yes, yes, 100% agree.
Like where you're like, what? You know?
Yes. Also, I'm thinking, was there cameras or was that before, way before its time in this resort?
Not that I've read anything about.
So then, yeah, probably not because they would be talking
Yeah.
about that. Because it's I'm trying to think and there's really nothing to go off. So I'm excited, not excited. I'm interested to hear your theories,
So the first theory, obviously, is parental involvement.
which is awful.
Some speculate that Madeline died accidentally in the apartment and her parents covered it up. I've seen a lot of stuff online, and I'm not too sure where this came from because I've only seen it on like Reddit and stuff. I can't find any sources, but there's a big theory that they gave her something to help her sleep because she was a bad sleeper
Okay.
and she overdosed on it and died, and this was how they covered it up.
The only thing with that is like if they're going off the evidence that like the decomp was found in the apartment, there was also blood. Why would there be blood?
Yes, and also none of the DNA evidence was ever confirmed as a match to Madeline.
Oh yeah, then there's another thing right there. I don't know. I don't know if that's a I could see where people are going. I could 100%. But they also sent their friend to go check on her. Like it seems a little bit not great of a theory, in my opinion.
It's interesting because I do always think like when something happens to a child, it most likely is the parents.
Yes.
But also, I just don't see a whole lot of evidence that points to that.
That's the issue here is honestly the lack of
There's just not a lot
evidence.
of evidence at all in this case, though, because of
No.
the police not sealing off the
Hmm.
apartment. So, like, there's not evidence really.
I hope that that is not the case at all. I think I would be a little bit like, oh my gosh, I did not expect that if it came out in the future that that was the case.
Yes. The second theory is that there was a pedophile abduction.
Oh,
So, the Algarve region had seen several assaults on tourist children in the years before Madeline's disappearance. So, it would not be, unfortunately, uncommon in this area.
so that area, although it's a resort, it's secluded. The surrounding area is not the greatest for children.
Yes.
That's
Um,
awful.
Also, as evidenced by the fact that there are 2 pedophiles from different countries that were in that area at that time.
Literally. That's awful. That's
Yeah.
literally makes me like feel very sick.
The next theory is that it was human trafficking.
I was kind of thinking that.
So, witnesses later claimed to have seen a girl resembling Madeline in Morocco, but none of the sightings were ever substantiated. This is probably a theory that I lean a little bit more towards. She was a blonde hair, blue eyed little girl.
I see it because people
Yeah.
are disgusting and people are gross and there are child traffickers. And if there are a bunch of gross pedophile nastiness around this resort, what's a place to take it when parents are vulnerable and drinking? And I don't know if they were drinking, but like, you know what I mean? Like when parents are
Yep.
vulnerable and having fun and like letting loose a little bit. And I don't even
Yeah.
know, like, is that one to hope for? Because then there is like hope that she's still alive, but that's just like an awful life and an awful situation. It's just like, I feel like I keep saying I'm at a loss for words, but like with children and with this kind of stuff, I don't have many because I just think that it's such an awful, 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 awful situation.
Another theory that Scotland Yard considered was a burglary gone wrong situation. I cannot wrap my head around this one at all. Nothing was stolen. The other two kids were left
That's
unharmed.
what I was thinking.
I think that is far fetched.
I think it would have to be like something insane for that to be the real case. Like they, like Madeline was like, "Oh, who are you?" And they like turned around and actually knocked her on the head with something super heavy, and then was like, "Oh my," you know what I mean? Like it had to be
Yeah.
like something crazy like that. And I don't, the kid, even like 2 years old, I know you can't really like question, but they would have heard something or like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
It doesn't seem right, especially with the parents going in every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like people weren't there to, whoever was, if someone was in that room, if someone who was not Madeline's parents were in that room, they were not there for a long time.
No, it had to have been quick
They were not looking around trying to find things to burgle. It had to be pretty quick.
because again, the walking paths, the, even if they came through the window, the getting in the window, getting out the window with themselves, maybe someone else, Madeline, like it's too, if a burglary went wrong, that would add more time to it because they would have to problem solve.
Yes.
What are we gonna do? Like, I don't think so.
And like maybe one thing would be missing. I can't imagine being like, we're here to burgle this house and oops, something happened with this little kid and now I'm going to take her body and not take anything else of value.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Like they already messed up so badly that like might as well
Yeah.
steal some stuff too.
Yeah. You're going to walk away with nothing but a problem?
Yeah, I don't.
Seems weird.
This one seems the least likely to me so far.
And then the last theory is that Madeline may have woken up, left the apartment trying to find her parents, and met with an accident nearby. So I actually can see her wandering. She was a very outgoing little girl. She was very brave. She didn't really. I think if this were to be true, again, this is on the more far fetched side. If this were to be true, I think the only way it would work is if, like, maybe she wandered to the street and somebody hit her and didn't want to get in trouble. So then moved, like, if she fell in a ditch, if she fell in a pool, if she got hit and they left her body on the side of the road, like, we would have found it.
I agree. There'd be more evidence, unless my fear is if she did wander and got caught up with some creep jeeper who
Yes.
was like, "Oh, look who walked up to me." Like
Yes.
I, ugh.
It doesn't really explain the window being open though, because I don't think Madeline would go through the window.
I didn't think of that, and I think that you're 100% right.
I don't think a 3-year-old would think, let me open this window and go out this way. I think she'd walk out the open, unlocked sliding glass door.
And then I imagine you probably would like, "Mom, Dad," like
Yeah.
neighbors probably would have heard that, is what I think.
And
So
also,
yeah.
again, they're not very far, and the door is facing the tapas restaurant. Like,
Yeah, so she would, yeah, I am less leaning towards this one now. Less likely of a situation because she probably would have shouted. She, and like, yeah, granted, it could be loud, the neighbors could have been gone, but like, it's not like she would have just like stumbled outside without saying anything. I think as a 3-year-old,
yes.
but you never know.
So 18 years later, Madeline McCann's fate is still unknown. The case has spanned continents, cost millions in investigations, and divided public opinion. Kate and Jerry still held out hope that one day they will know what happened to their daughter.
I hope they do because I can't begin to fathom that questioning, that fear, that what if she's being held against her will? What if she, you know what I mean, that your daughter's out there alive, your daughter's passed away, your daughter was murdered brutally. Like, I hope they do find out, and I really, really hope that they weren't involved. I don't know.
I don't either. It's so hard. I don't think I really like am, and I feel like that's the way with most of my unsolved person, missing person cases, but I feel like I don't lean heavier one certain way.
I don't at all. This one is the one to me has the least evidence
Yes.
that you've talked about.
And like, I definitely can kind of say, like, the burglary gone wrong, her wandering away, I don't really think those happened. But between like parents, pedophile, and human trafficking, I feel like those are all just like equally
Yeah,
plausible to me.
100%. And then like if it is this known pedophile area, then that makes sense to me. And like if it is a child trafficking thing, unfortunately, those people get away with it because that's why it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yep.
like it's just really awful, honestly.
And there was like, I didn't really include much detail about it. Actually, no, I didn't include all, but now that we're talking about it, there was like a couple years ago, this one girl who claimed to be Madeline
What?
and like said that she doesn't remember the beginning of her childhood. Her mom doesn't have any pictures of her. She took like one of those tests and has some of the same heritage as them, and like claimed and like reached out to the family and claimed over and over again that she was Madeline. And testing came back and she was not related to them, but she still says she is her.
That is upsetting for everybody involved in that situation.
Yes.
I just this is one that I just want to know because there's literally no information. There's literally no
Yes.
information. Like, and also it's scary if you think about it. Like you're on vacation with your family and something like this can happen and there's no clues, there's no evidence, there's no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
This was not one of my favorite cases you've done.
I knew it wouldn't be, but I've always been so intrigued by this case. Again, it reminds me a lot of John Benet Ramsey, which is just, I do lean a little bit more towards the theory in the John Benet Ramsey case, but then sometimes I hear something and I'm like, am I wrong? Am I off?
Oh,
Where this one
yep.
I'm more just like, I have no idea. But like to me, the amount of curiosity I have to be like, can someone just solve this case is equal to like the John Benet Ramsey one. And Maura Murray. Like Maura Murray is my white
Oh,
whale.
yeah. Yep. That was a good one. I think the reason why I hate him so much is because most of these unsolved ones are in this short amount of time. There's always like, oh, it could be this random guy who did it. Never enough evidence pointing anywhere. All the evidence points in a different direction. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's these fluke things that happen somewhat not like, you know what I mean? Like kind of not,
Yes.
kind of a lot. And that's scary.
And also like if the parents are not involved, then I feel so bad for them because they keep getting these like pretty good suspects. And then it keeps being like, nope, not enough evidence, or nope, that was wrong. No, we can clear them.
Which is messed up. Yeah.
And it's got to be like every time you get a new one, you get this like burst of hope. And then it's just the same story over and over again.
And even like a burst of hope of like, I'm finally gonna find out what happened to my young daughter who would be what, like 20 some at this point? Like, ugh, just
Yeah. And then like to feel like it's got to feel so weird to be like, oh, a pedophile's been named a suspect. And not that I want that to have happened to my daughter, but there is some relief in that
yeah.
I'll know what actually happened, but I'll know that it was this horrible thing.
And you know they have to think that as parents because like
Yeah.
even I mentioned that when we talk about the child trafficking ring, like, well, she might still be alive, but like that's a terrible life to live, and that's not what I want to hope for her. The turmoil as a parent or a loved one that you have to go through with thinking those thoughts, I would never know what to do with those feelings.
Yep.
Terrible case.
Yeah. Guys, thanks for listening to another one of Lex's unsolved missing person cases.
Boo. No, I'm kidding. That's very interesting and very good.
Please follow us on whatever platform you are listening on right now. For most of you, based on our data, that's Apple Music. So make sure you like us, follow us. Make sure you're downloading the episodes. That's what really helps us grow and get out there. Give us a nice review. You can also follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. And we are at Bloodshed Baddies basically everywhere.
We also have a Gmail, bloodshedbaddies at gmail.com, that you can send us an email with a case suggestion or just some love or whatevs. Our intro music is made by our awesome cousin Vinny. And also, I found this out this weekend that he also is put out a new song recently that's very good under Vinny Pellioni.
Ooh,
Yep, it's called Top Flight. You can find it on Spotify, YouTube. I don't think it's on Apple Music yet. Take a look.
go
Take a
check it
listen.
out. See our cousin. Well, not see him, but listen to him.
Hear
See
our
him with your
cousin.
ears.
Tell a friend, tell people so we can grow our cute little podcast. And tune in next week for a solved case. Woohoo!